How y'all doing? I'm David Reese with Army of Truth Ministries, and today we're going to be taking a look at this video that's making its way around YouTube and Facebook called "Did Jesus Give Us the Name of the Antichrist?" Now this video, the guy, I don't know how sincere he is. It almost seemed like a joke a little bit, the way he said it, but basically he says in Luke 10:18, Jesus said, "I beheld Satan fall like lightning from heaven." And what he claims here is that because Jesus didn't speak Greek like the New Testament was wrote in, so the Hebrew equivalent of the word Satan, or actually fall like lightning, would be Barak, and the Hebrew equivalent of from heaven would be Bama. He's basically saying that here Jesus was implying and calling out Barack Obama, the President of the United States, as the Antichrist. Now, even though this is I guess you could call it a funny coincidence, it's not true. See, there's a couple things here. First off, the New Testament wasn't written in Hebrew for a reason. God had it wrote in Greek for a reason. And if God wanted to say Barack Obama, it would have said Barack Obama. Instead, it didn't. He used Greek for the New Testament. Second, this is kind of just speculation, because he even says in the video, if the Hebrew person was to say this in the right time, in the right context, with using the certain root words, it could come out to say Barack Obama. Again, it's kind of confusing. But God's not the author of confusion. And so it's just speculation. But what I'm going to tell you is that the Bible does call out by name the Antichrist. And we're going to look at this right now. And so, first off, Jesus told his believers that they should study the prophetic book of Daniel. Okay, and the book of Revelation is the revelation of Jesus Christ. Okay, so these are both books of the Bible that we should be studying. So we're going to look from Daniel chapter 7 and Revelation 13 at the Antichrist. And actually what's funny is in the book of Daniel and the book of Revelation, a lot of people were surprised to find out that the word Antichrist is never even used. The only times in the Bible the word Antichrist is used is in 1 John and 2 John. But here in Daniel it's called the little horn, and in Revelation it's called the sea beast. And so, okay, so we're going to look at from Daniel 7, because here in Daniel 7 we find a list of the most identifiers of who the Antichrist is, this little horn power. And so we're going to move very quickly. I'm going to put a link in this video of a good hour-long sermon that really digs deep into the subject. So if you'd like to dig deeper, please watch that. But we're going to just move very quickly through this just as a response video to this this viral video that's making its way around. Alright, so Daniel chapter 7. So Daniel here in vision, he sees 4 beasts come up out of the sea. And the angel lets Daniel know that these 4 beasts are 4 kingdoms that will rise upon the earth. The first one is a lion with eagle's wings. Okay, and right off the bat, this would have hit with Daniel who this kingdom is, because he's living in the time of Babylon, and Babylon's symbol was a lion with eagle's wings. So, okay, move on. Next he sees a bear hunched up on one side with 3 ribs in its mouth. This is the kingdom of Medo-Persia. After Babylon came the kingdom of Medo-Persia, was a combining of 2 empires, one stronger than the other, like how this bear was hunched up. And they had to defeat 3 provinces to become the power that they were, and like it had 3 ribs in its mouth. Then it sees a leopard with wings, and a leopard is a symbolism of speed, and so are wings. And after Medo-Persia came Greece, and Greece was a very fast empire. It very quickly took over the world at the time, Alexander the Great. Somewhere from 14 to 16 years it took him to conquer the world. But after Alexander the Great died, his kingdom was divided into his 4 generals, and this leopard has 4 heads. Next, it was followed by a crazy beast. Daniel can't really even put a name to this animal, but it says, he said he has great iron teeth. And following Greece came the iron monarchy of Rome. And this beast in Daniel 7 is described as destroying and devouring over the earth. And again, Rome was that. Rome was a very destructive, very forceful empire. But after that, it says 10 horns came out of this beast. And then later on, the angel interprets to Daniel that these 10 horns are 10 kings. Okay? And Rome divided into 10 kings. And the names of these kingdoms, just so you know, were the Huns, the Ostrogoths, the Visigoths, the Franks, the Vandals, the Suevi, the Burgundians, the Heruli, the Anglo-Saxons, and the Lombards were the 10 kingdoms that arose out of Rome. So, like I said, very quick, we're doing this very simplistic explanation. But, so next week, now we get into this little horn, okay, that comes up out of these. So I'm going to read Daniel chapter 7, verses 20 through 25, and we're going to find 9 identifiers, okay, 9 identifiers of who this little horn and power, the Antichrist, is. So in verse 20, beginning, it says, "And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even that horn that had eyes and a mouth, that spoke very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows, I beheld, and the same horde made war with the saints, and prevailed against them, till the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. Thus he said, The 4th beast shall be the 4th kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down, and break it in pieces. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall arise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time." So here, we find 9 identifications of this little horn power. Okay? So I'm going to recap. The first is that it would arise out of after the division of Rome. We find that because there were 10 horns. It says after these horns came a little horn. Okay? So this kingdom had to arise after Rome divided. And it would be a little kingdom. It's a little horn, not a regular. So it's a little kingdom. And then it would be diverse from the other kingdoms. It would be different from the other kingdoms that were on the earth. And then when it came up, it would subdue 3 kings. It plucked up 3 horns. It actually says by the roots. When you pluck something up and you want to utterly destroy it, you pluck it up by the roots. And that's what this kingdom did. And then it would have a man in its head. It had eyes like a man, and it had a mouth to speak. And it would speak words against the Most High. Number 7, it would make war with the saints. It would think to change times and laws, and it would last for 3.5 years, a times, and a dividing of time. So we see 9 identifiers. Now I want to tell you, there's only one power that accurately fulfills all 9 of these. And if you want to look at the parallels, by the way, Revelation chapter 13 parallels this with the 3.5 years, and I'll give you those verses here in a little bit. But and with the with actually the same thing with the 10 horns and the 10 kings. So just so you can cross-reference those two. But so there's only one power that fulfills this, and that power is the Roman Church state. And I'm not saying that all that are part of the Roman Catholic Church are evil. What I'm just saying is the system fulfills all 9 of these identifiers. And the first one is that it arose. The first identifier is that it would arise after the division of Rome, and that is true. The papacy arose after the division of Rome, and it became its own power. It became its own kingdom in 538 AD. And and as it says, it would be a little kingdom, a little horn. The Vatican is its own country with less than 1,000 inhabitants. It's one of the smallest kingdoms. It may be actually the smallest. I believe it is the smallest kingdom here on this planet. And then it would be diverse in the other kingdoms, and this one is. The papacy, the Roman Church state, is diverse because it's a religious entity and it's a political entity at the same time. It said it would pluck up 3 kingdoms by the roots when it came on the scene. And for the papacy, for the Roman Church state to take power, it had to subdue 3 kingdoms: the Heruli, the Vandals, and the Ostrogoths. All 3 of these no longer exist on the earth today. And the 5th identifier is that it would have a man in its head. And again, the Roman Church state has always had a man in its head, the Pope. And it's never had a queen, like almost all the other kingdoms around in that part of the world. Then it would speak great words against the Most High, against God. And in Revelation 13, it says that it will blaspheme against the Most High. And in the Bible, you'll find blasphemy defined as claiming to be able to forgive sins, and that's in Mark 2, verses 5 through 7, and claiming to be God. And then you can find that in John 10, verse 30 through 33. And again, the Catholic Church, the Roman Church state, very clearly fulfills this. From the Catholic Encyclopedia, it says, absolution proper is the act of the priest, whereby in the sacrament of penance he frees man from sin. So the priest hold the authority to forgive sins through the sacrament of confession. And then the other one is in the apostolic letter of Pope Leo XIII in 1894. The Pope said, "We hold upon this earth the place of God Almighty." That is both definitions of blasphemy. So we'll move on. The 7th identifier is it would persecute the saints. Okay? And this is from the book, The History of Romanism. I'll just read this. And you can read that, by the way, that it would persecute the saints in verse 21 and 25 in Daniel 7, but also in Revelation 13, verse 7. Again, that parallel between the two. But in the book History of Romanism, it says, from the birth of popery to the present time, it is estimated by careful and credible historians that more than 50 million of the human family have been slaughtered for the crime of heresy by popish persecutors. And let me remind you that a lot of those claiming of heresy were those trying to say we want to believe in the Bible only as a role of faith and practice. They actually outlawed the Bible at one point in time. So they're very clearly meeting the 7th criteria. The 8th is that it would think to change times and laws. And in the Bible, in the 10 Commandments, there's only one commandment that is both a time and a law, and that is the Sabbath commandment found in Exodus 20, verses 8 through 11. The 7th-day Sabbath, which would be Saturday. In 321 AD, the Emperor Constantine changed this from Saturday the Sabbath to the venerable day of the sun, Sunday. And again in 326 AD it was reinforced. Okay, in Schaff's History of the Christian Church, Volume 3, it states, on the venerable day of the sun, let the magistrate and the people reside in the cities rest, and let all workshops be closed. That's what Constantine's decree was. Okay. Now, from the Convert's Catechism of the Catholic Doctrine. Okay, so this is from the Catholic Church itself. This is laid out in question and answer format, and it reads: question, which is the Sabbath? Answer, Saturday is the Sabbath day. Question, why do we observe Sunday instead of Saturday? Answer, we observe Sunday instead of Saturday because the Catholic Church and the Council of Laodicea, AD 336, transferred the solemnity from Saturday to Sunday. Right out of their mouth. Then from a doctrinal catechism, again, question and answer format, it says, question, have you any other way of proving that the Church has power to institute festivals of precept? Answer, has she not such power, she could not have done that which all modern religionists agree with her. She could not have substituted the observance of Sunday, the first day of the week, for the observance of Saturday, the 7th day, a change for which there is no scriptural authority. So again, very clearly fulfilling this this mark. Okay, identifier number 9, the last one. says it would last for a time, a times, and half a time. So this would be 3.5 years, okay? And a point to make so that you understand is back then, we have 365 days in our calendar. Now, they only have 360 days in their calendar. And the reason I bring this up is because in Bible prophecy, a day equals a year. There's it's called the day-year principle. And you can find that in Numbers 14:34 and Ezekiel 4 verses 5 through 6. Those are your references for that. But a day equals a year. So in a time and times and half a time, 3.5 years, you have 1,260 days. And this time frame, again, is not just here. You find it 3 times in the book of Revelation. Revelation chapter 12, verse 6 says 1,260 days. Revelation 12:14 reinforces the times, and half a time. And Revelation 13, verse 5 calls it 42 months. All three of those is 3.5 years. 1,260 days, or 1,260 literal years. And it says that it will last, this power will last for 1,260 years. And again, this is very clearly, only one that fulfills this is the Roman Catholic Church. And the reason I say that is they became a power. They took the throne, okay, in 538 AD, like we said before. Exactly 1,260 of the bloodiest years later, in 1798, General Berthier took the Pope off of his throne and put his wife on the throne. And here we see the papacy taking a deadly wound right on time. So here we see clearly, undeniably by the Bible, Daniel 7, and again cross-reference this with Revelation 13, all perfectly fulfilling this. But do you want to know, and I'll just finish this video up with this, do you want to know what America plays in Bible prophecy? Right after this beast in Revelation 13 is another beast that comes up out of dry land this time. The first beast comes up out of the sea in Revelation 13. Sea represents a populated area. Europe was very populated when this beast came up. All roads lead to Rome, like they say. Well, right after that came up another beast. In 1776, it became a nation. And this beast came up out of dry land, an unpopulated area. The Americas was completely unpopulated. Well, there were the Indians, but not like Europe. It would have horns like a lamb, but speak like a dragon. It would look like Jesus Christ, but through its actions, it would speak like the devil. And again, we see this in America. America, the Christian nation, speaking like a devil, very much so now, and as it has over time, but increasingly more like a devil. And this beast says that it will cause the whole world to worship the first beast, which again we just identified as the Roman Catholic Church. You want to say Obama is against Catholics? Well, listen to this. Obama is a genius. Obama, when Pope Francis came on the scene, Obama said, "We have a great spiritual leader for the free world." And then he turns around and attacks this man? Why do you think? He has attacked the Catholic Church, and guess what? Now all the Protestant denominations, all of the conservatives want to stand up and say words like Glenn Beck says that we are all Catholic now. Like Mitt Romney said the same thing, we should all consider ourselves Catholic now. Neither of those men are Catholics. We see all of us standing up for the Catholic Church. And Obama's going over there and giving tribute to him. He just went over to the Vatican. Look, there are agendas in place, principalities and powers going on. So listen to me, brothers and sisters. The Antichrist is not Barack Obama, but we do see one, who the Antichrist is, until we know what America will play in prophecy, and that is to lead this world, to set up a likeness of that persecution from the Dark Ages, and to cause the whole world to worship the beast, the Antichrist, the papacy. God bless you.